I do want to state for the record that I will be a resounding no on this nomination. And I'm really disappointed with all that's been said and all that's been discussed that we are actually here having to vote on this nominee. I have spoken to several people, judges, attorneys from both sides of the court, plaintiffs, community members, especially community members in my district, but throughout the state, phone calls, conversations around exactly what Representative Fishbein has elaborated on, but not limited to that. The prosecutorial vindictiveness is a serious concern. And although it has not been substantiated, I will say allegations. They have been made on numerous occasions, not just this one time that Representative Fishbein is talking about. They've been made to me. The written sample, very concerned around that. And just for the record, it was not about grammar for me. It was the fact that this is being submitted to the Judiciary Committee, and I think the time and the effort should have went into making sure that the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed. It's basic. It's basic. That's nothing high level. And then the last thing that I will say about this nominee, because I'm not going to belabor the issue, but I myself, have been in New Haven court. And it was at one point from about 1 to 2 years where I had the opportunity to experience this nominee's behavior in court, conversations in hallways, and I was taken aback and offended, frankly, by what I saw, what I heard. And we talk about temperament, and for me, that is the great cause today that gives me pause. We talk about robitis. That is a tremendous concern for me today around the fact that, if this nominee was to make it to the bench as a judge with that kind of power and authority, how would it be wielded under what I've actually witnessed with my own 2 eyes, heard with my own 2 ears, and then from people of good character, people that I honor and respect, I trust and believe, people that I have relationships with, that I know really well. And I can't take what's being shared slightly. And this is not something that's just been shared with me. This has actually, been the experience of people in communities that look like mine. So I'm talking about the urban centers throughout this great state of Connecticut. We have several elected officials that have received the same calls from church, from clergy, like I said, people of high esteem. And I just really, I need to put it on the record. I really need to put it on the record because there's been several things that have occurred with this nominee that have been quite offensive to me. And one of them that I will say is that, it's been stated that we don't have a lot of black males on the bench. And that, we should be able to put him on the bench. And what I want to say today on the record is that the governor's office, no one, in fact, gets to dictate what our representation looks like. Representation matters. It matters. And if you have the black community telling you that they have an issue and that they are receiving tremendous pushback from their community around this nominee, and we don't take pause on that, we bring it forth anyway, what is that saying to us? What does that say to me as a so-called black woman representing an underrepresented community that has a huge problem with this nominee? What does that say? Who's listening? Who cares? These are the questions that are being asked. And I'm having to ask them of myself. Do our voices fall on deaf ears? how we feel, what we perceive, how we're treated? Does it matter? Because if it does, I don't understand why we are here today having to have this discussion in such a public way. And I remained quiet because I was hoping that it wouldn't come to this, because the conversations were had in private. And yet, here we are. Here we are with this nominee sitting before us for a vote. And I just think it's a real slap in the face to me and to my community, to the people that I represent, that this is how it's going to be handled today. Better than nothing. That was said. Better than nothing. No, this is not better than nothing. If we want true representation for our communities, I believe that there needs to be conversations with our communities and the representatives that represent those communities before these nominees come before us. This is what I'm asking today. Because it makes it awkward, and it makes it disingenuous, and it makes it disrespectful for us to have to be here doing this today, especially after the conversations that have been heard. I'm really disappointed, and I take this very seriously. And I don't think that there should be rubber stamps when it comes to this, and that, you know, we should have to worry about a bad look or setting a precedent if we don't do this. The bad look would be doing this, and the precedent that would be set would be a bad one. So today, I will end on this note. I am a resounding no. I speak for myself, and I speak for my community. I speak for the people that have reached out from within my district and from without my district. And I hope that my colleagues will support me on this in voting no on this nominee today. Thank you, Mr. Chair.